Alright, so I'm set up. I'm really set up. It's a beautiful Powermatic. Relatively small joiner, but holy mackerel, I would kill to own something this nice one day. I have a friend, I'm very fortunate. He's got a really nice mortiser and resaw, bandsaw and stuff too in here. And a nicer wood lathe. And so this is a joiner. The other thing I wanted to mention is his dust collection setup. Everything's hooked up. He's got dust collection coming from the joiner, but he's also got remote control for it, so we can do off, and we don't have to listen to that thing roar. If we just, and this is something you can wear on your belt. I'm sure many people have seen these, but I've seen it often myself. But I figured I'd mention it just in case. But you can wear it on your belt as you move around your shop, and if you need dust collection, you can turn it on remotely and you can shut it off so you don't have to listen to it. Another thing you can do, and I'll just highlight this because this is the setup here, he's put his dust collector elsewhere. It's at least one room away, so that it's that much quieter. So with that, I will leave it off for the time being, but this is a joiner, and it's basically an open-faced planer. This is a drum in here, a horizontal drum with a blade on it that spins. The infeed table is a bit lower than the outfeed table by the exact, so the blade, the drum is spinning, and the crest of the blade is completely flush to the outfeed table, and the infeed table is lower by a touch. And here are some of the markings here, but there are 4 increments before 1/16 of an inch as far as how much lower this table is than the outfeed table. So I'm currently taking a 1/64 of an inch off here, and that's the difference between this height and this height. The precision ground is 1/64 of an inch lower, so it comes in, it's cut by the blade, which is at this height, 1/64 of an inch higher, and then it's supported after the cut at the exact same height, so that if you have down pressure and pressure tight to the fence, it comes in, the little amount is taken off, and the outfeed table immediately supports the fresh edge, and it feeds out, and so it makes a perfectly smooth cut, takes a perfect amount off. But you also, not only with down pressure, you also have side pressure, and you keep that big face tight to this. And that's what, as you take a couple passes, take that trapezoid or rhombus edge of the board that was roughly sawn, and you make it a perfect 90-degree angle to the face. And here's what we have after the fact. And this edge is like glass. It's got a really nice sharp blade. And as I finish stuff, I'm stacking it there, and I'm coming from over there, and I will just do a video on this. It's got a spring-loaded fence, so you can send something almost 6 inches wide through here, and it'll close behind you, which is nice, and you can use a push stick or what have you if you feel more comfortable. One of the biggest errors you can make is trailing a finger, touching down with a finger as you send a small stick through, and then you just take off a 1/64 of an inch of the end of your finger. And to be honest with you, it will probably not be super clean. It could be more aggressive since your finger's made of meat and not wood. I don't recommend it. But other than that, if you let this thing do its job and you hang on to stuff, I like to hang on to stuff relative to the fence. I've always got my hand looped onto the fence, so I can't dip any lower. If something were to leave, a piece of material were to leave, I don't follow through with the pressure I'm giving so far as to touch the blade. I always have a reference to my brain. My gray matter has a reference in space to where my hand is at all times by being relative to a fence. It's something I encourage people to do when they're running machinery. Give your brain a physical reference so that under no circumstances can you follow through by accident. If a piece of material leaves your hand or something should happen, you shouldn't follow through and enter a world of hurt as a result of that. So I like to play things and use the fence that way. Hopefully that makes sense. But we'll fire this pig up, and you can see that's spinning like crazy under there now. And where's my dust collection in my pocket? We'll turn that on. Fire that up. And then we'll come and get a piece of lumber. And you can see this has got it's not 90 degrees, this edge to here. So we're going to make a couple passes on that edge, and we'll hope to remedy that situation. really difficult to notice, but took a little bit. We'll take a little more. I'm really happy with that. And just for best practices, you can always look at that with a square and double check. And it's nice to do both edges equally so that no matter what orientation you end up with when you get back to your bench, you don't make a mistake and wish you had come back to the joiner or something like that. So we're going to just keep going here, but I'm not going to cover that.